best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. It's the Friday before the game. You know I like to sing. I can't sing well. I can't even sing good. But I like to sing, especially on game days. Oh, the Eagles game. The 2-7 Giants are going to the playoffs because we're beating the Eagles. We're going to talk about the Eagles. We're going to talk about Golden Tate. We're going to talk about a couple other things with the Giants. First, let's jump into the Golden Tate news. Of course, Golden Tate injured his knee on practice on yesterday. We don't know the extent of the injuries. He was back on the field, back with the first team. He was going to be taking over his spot that he was so unhappy with the Giants. And, of course, he comes down with a knee injury. Do we know what the injury is? No, we have no idea. He walked off the field gingerly, evidently, with the trainers. So we're going to have to get a better idea of what exactly is going on with Golden. We still have Tate coming on board as well. So, I mean, I would like to have Tate against Philadelphia. Tate is a big – and you could say anything you want about Golden Tate. And I love when I get to see these people that say, well, he bounced around so much. No, he didn't bounce around. He was with Seattle for 4-something years. He then signed a lucrative contract with Detroit, who then traded him to the Eagles for the playoff run. His contract expired, and he jumped over to the Giants. That's not really jumping around. That's really just you were in one place, your contract wearing out. Seattle wanted to keep him. You got more money in Detroit, and Detroit traded you, so that wasn't your fault. And then they didn't want to sign with the Eagles, so you signed with the Giants. So that's not really bouncing around. But, I don't want to be splitting hairs with people. I just don't like misinformation when I see it on Twitter and Instagram because it's just, I don't know. I really need to just stay off Twitter and Instagram. And the people who have sent me emails recently about joining their Madden leagues, thank you. Thank you very much. I am on the Xbox and PlayStation, but I play Madden on the Xbox. I appreciate it. I just, at this point in time with the holidays and everything else, I really can't commit to any type of leagues to play. But I do appreciate it, and I really appreciate the invites. And maybe we'll try to do something in the offseason with like a Madden league or something, I think, with the subscribers. I think that'll be fun. But we need to see what's going to happen on with Golden Tate. Tate Pettis, like I said, is going to be scheduled to play. Tate Pettis, let's hope him moving to New York is a fresh start after what happened in San Francisco. Like I said, we've given you the reports that I've gotten from a scout in California that he's sometimes overweight, he's lazy, he does not run, he runs very sloppy routes, he's afraid to go over the middle, and he's inconsistent. And that's more the reason why he was in the doghouse in San Francisco than injuries more than anything else the last season and a quarter. But like I say, sometimes a fresh start is what a player needs, and let's hope he's got the speed. So let's see if he, like I said the other day, let's see if he's got the skills to pay the bills. I love it because I hear that line. My son used to watch a movie called Turbo about the snails that raced or something. And they use that line, and Samuel Jackson's got the skill, he's sitting there going, you have the skills to pay the bills. And the other snail looks at him because they're talking trash, and he goes, well, maybe your bills are overdue. And Samuel Jackson looks at him and goes, your trash talk is needlessly complicated. And you know what? People need to understand the difference between talking trash and talking smack. One day we'll go over that. But Tate Pettis, like I said, hopefully it's a fresh start. He can use his speed. Daniel Jones can hit him when he's open. And a lot of times our receivers, after watching the footage from last week, we're open. So, but like I said, with Tate, he kind of reminds me of Evan Ingram 2.0. Kind of his look, kind of his abilities, kind of his speed. Except Evan's a better blocker. So we'll never know. We'll see. I have my fingers crossed that he will play well. We're going to go over the injury report real quick for the Eagles game. Giants are barely injured, except for people like Friedman and everyone else. But we don't really – I wouldn't say we have injuries that are – any different from last week. The Eagles, on the other hand, have 8 players who are now listed under full participation. Miles Sanders looks like he's coming back. Malik Jackson, Jason Peters, the tackle, Herbig, Driscoll, Fletcher Cox, Austin Jeffries, and LeBlanc looked like they're all going to play. Craig James was the only one that did not participate in practice, but everyone else was a full participation. For the Giant limited practice was Friedman, Shepard, and Tate. Full participation was Logan Ryan, but he had non-injury related issues with his wife and everything. So Caden Smith, who has concussion, and Leonard Williams had non-related issues as well. But you know what? The Eagles have gotten healthy since the last time we've seen them. Their receiving core seems to be falling back intact. Their running game looks like that as well, and same with their offensive line and some of their defensive players. So I mean, I was thinking about this game. Everybody wants in Giant Land the 2-7 Giants to beat the Eagles so we can continue the playoff charade for another week. Now, I have two thought processes here. The fan in me is saying, F yeah, 24-17 New York, we are going to make Carson Wentz cry. We have the defense, and I've been saying this for weeks now, and I think people are finally coming around. We have a top 10 defense. We do. We really do, except we have a huge liability at that CB2 spot. Ryan Lewis, Isaac Yiadom, they do not excite me at all. They evidently do not excite the Giants at all either, because they also worked out a couple of players yesterday, and one was the kid Tabor. He was over at he played in Florida. Yeah, I remember him now. He was drafted, I think, in the second round in 2017. He had a great career in Florida. He had 2 seasons, I think. It was 2 seasons in Detroit, then they released him. Then he went over to the 49ers practice squad. Then he found himself released back, I think, or it was in the summer. It wasn't recently, it was in the summer. But he's 6 feet, 201 pounds. Let me see his stats here. He has 22 career games, 5 starts, 42 tackles, 1 quarterback hit. You know, he's a guy that had big prospects coming out of college. It's another guy I think the Giants are just taking a flyer on to see what they can – see if they can't pull something out. But like I said, I don't know if they're going to sign him or not. If they do, they'll probably sign him to the practice squad. But like I said, I still think the Giants are searching for that second cornerback position. The defensive by substitutions by Patrick Graham is a fantastic defense. We talked about this before the season even started, how we were going to be defensive substitutions. I am curious to see how the offensive line rotation works with the return of Will Hernandez. I am not a Will Hernandez fan. I think everyone knows that. But like I said, I do understand if he does play and he does start. It's the old adjective in pro sports: you don't lose your spot due to injury. And I guess that's the case. So, we're going to have to just wait and see what happens there. But like I said, the fan in me is saying 24-17 G-Men. Yeah. But if I step back and I'm literally taking my Giants hat off and put it on the table here, I have a different perspective. The Eagles, you can say anything you want about Doug Peterson. Doug Peterson is a good coach. I personally hate him because he's an Eagle, but he is a good coach. Jim Schwartz, I can't talk today. I just can't talk today. He is a great defensive coordinator. Again, you could say what you want. I'm a failed head coach. You can say what you want, but as a defensive coordinator, Schwartz is a great defensive coordinator. And I just have a feeling with the team being healthy now, Philadelphia, are getting healthier every week, that we are going to have our hands full with Philadelphia. And I think what's going to happen is I think they are going to confuse Daniel Jones. I have a feeling they're going to, at times, like the other week, abuse the offensive line. I think they're going to see some stunts and some things before, and some creativity Schwartz likes to do on his defenses. And I just have a feeling. I have a feeling I bet sometimes. We have casino not too far away, so you can do sports betting. So I do bet sometimes. And right now on Giant games on betting, and I bet the spread. I am right now in Giant games. I haven't bet every week, but I'm like 7-1. And if I am looking at this game from a betting standpoint, not with the spread, let's say it's all even, I'm looking at it from a logistical standpoint, and the ability that yes, the Giants need this game, but they have a long road to hoe. Even if they get this game, the Eagles need this game just to keep wrap up this division because they have a tough schedule ahead. This is going to be to them. This is probably a W game. And the way the Eagles play in November and December, they could fall apart forever. But as soon as you start heading towards that midpoint of the season, I don't know what Doug Peterson does, but he turns it on. The fan in me says 24-17. The sports better goes 35-21 Philadelphia. You pick which one you want. I like the 24-17. We are going to win. But like I said, if I'm looking at this from a sports betting perspective, I'm going 35-21 Philadelphia. But the fan says 24-17, so we're gonna wear the fan hat. I'm going with the fan prediction because you know what? We need to get a win. We need to keep this facade that we have a shot to be making the playoffs up and running. You know what? There's an old saying in sports. When you look at the win column, and a coach in college told me this, and I've said it before. There's no column in the win-loss record that says you lost a game by X amount of points or you were in the game by X amount of points. All it shows is wins and losses. They don't care if that win is by 1 point or by 10 or if that loss is by 1 point or by 50. It's still a win or a loss, and that's all it is. And that's all people need to look at. So right now, you can have faith, you can have hope, but you have to remember we are a 2-7 team. The only 2 wins we have is against Washington. That's all I'm saying. But like I said, I'm not jumping on we're making the playoff bandwagon. I'm going to keep my feet grounded in realism like I always do. But like I said, the fan in me is saying 24-17 G-men. But the sports better in me is going down to the casino, and I'm going to probably take the Eagles. And like I said, I see them at 35-21. Take that for what it's worth. Like I said, we don't really like doing the shows on Saturdays, but maybe we'll do something where we get some news about Golden and Tate. Again, thank you for sending me the invites for the Madden League. Maybe we'll do something. I don't know how the Xbox works. If you have the Xbox, the new Xbox, and how that works with the old Xbox and with Madden. I'm not that technically sophisticated when it comes to that. But again, this is Tim with Online Big Blue, bringing you the best in New York Giants sports talk and entertainment. And as always, if you could subscribe, if you could ring that bell, I think you know what that means. That'd be awesome.